Hello there, my Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Soulmates relationship spread for November-ish 2019. I'm doing this on the 13th, so, you know, it's almost halfway through the month. I am your reader for the moment, Michelle Pfeiffer. Meow. No. I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mel for short, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and damn skipping, happy to be here reading for you today. We're going to get down to business in a little bit, but I got to do, like, you know, the general for the new people. If you are new to my channel, please do like and subscribe. I'm making my way to 1,000 plus subscribers so I can do super live chat, and I'm making a promise. I'm making a promise once I get there. I will do what is called a drunk tarot read, which I never read professionally when I'm drunk or even tipsy. I won't do it because it shuts off my edit function. But apparently it's really funny when I do it for people who are in the mood. So, you know, I'll do that once a month. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. So, yeah, like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. Help me get my numbers up, right? Cool, cool. To my subscribers, thank you so very much for subscribing. I know you must be having a good time because I'm having a good time. And the newbies will find out that, oh my God, you can really speak truth with humor and love and compassion, right? I am a spiritual teacher and a spiritual counselor. I mean, I've been reading tarot since I'm 12 years old. I'm 51. So I'm doing it for a very long time. Obviously not professional. It wasn't like I was in the schoolyard, you know, doing a buck a card. But I used to read in the nightclubs in Boston in the 80s. Woo! Axis, Venus de Milo, Club, wow, we're talking about a flashback. But that being said, let's get some of these other expositional things out of the way. I have great vocabulary. I have good vocab. This is a general read, so if it doesn't click for you, that's fine. It's just not your read this time around. That's why I always do Sun, Moon, Rising, bottom line. For relationship spreads, I throw in Venus, obviously. So check your other signs. But I do bless the decks before I hit record so that they be truly helpful for anybody who watches it. So there might be a piece of information, right? A piece of synchronicity, something that you go, oh, right? So hang in there. That's all I'm saying with that. Otherwise, it's not your read. Go check your other signs, right? Your other planets in other signs. We are going to be doing divine masculine, divine feminine for this spread, but only as a way to differentiate between one partner and another. It has nothing to do with bodily gender. I myself consider myself a divine feminine, like most of the time, but then you put me around like my mom, Hera, as I call her. That's not her real name. That would have been great. I would have really changed my life. Of course, my name would have been different. I am Angelo. She actually named me Archangel. I was like, Mom. She's like, it's 1968. Angelo's your great-grandfather's name, and I was drugged up. So that's the name he got, because your brother was Matthew, you're Mark. Two more sons, there would have been Luke and John. God forbid they were girls. Thank God they divorced. Right after I was born. I came in to disrupt the toxicity and break it up, apparently. Virgo. All right, Earth signs. So we're going to be doing one side of the Divine Feminine, one side of the Divine Masculine. We're going to be using the Daughters of the Moon Tarot for the Divine Feminine, the Mythic Tarot for the Divine Masculine, but remember, it has nothing to do with bodily gender. Two more things. Number one, soulmates. The way that I define soulmates are more in alignment with the work of the spiritual teacher Matt Kahn, K-A-H-N, Hay House author, big on YouTube. All for Love with Matt Kahn is the name of the channel. You might want to check him out. I actually have one of his video links in the description box below, along with the video that I did called Clarifying Twin Flame Soulmates and True Lovers. You might want to check those out at some point, because we're given this concept. Like, I read Soulmates by Jess Stern back in like the 80s, and I was totally hook, line, and sinker. But this idea that there's this one soulmate, right? No. Soulmates are pre-incarnational contracts that you make, obviously before coming into the lifetime. You sign on the dotted line saying that I will have these particular relationships in my life so that we help each other heal. So not only do you have more than one, you may have hundreds in one lifetime, but that they're not all romantic sexual. So like I just did the Aries read. earlier today, and then I zonked out on the couch for 2 hours. It was like out like a light. So I don't know, maybe they took me out of the body and did something to my soul or whatnot. Ascended Master, you know, lunch meeting. I don't know what that was. And yeah, there was a lot going on in that reading, but nothing that really screamed romance or sexuality. So you have to kind of feel intuitively what it is for you. Because this is about you and one other soulmate, and I would think the most important soulmate contract for you for the month of November-ish, 2019. Cool. So this is not a twin flame reading. Go watch those other vids, because twin flames, you got more than one of those too, honey. Oh boy. I have had in the romantic sexual genre of my life a crap ton of twin flames. Turbulent, transformative, right? They teach you how to love yourself, how to heal yourself. You don't help each other heal, and that's really fucking rough. So go check that out. You might not like the description of it or the definition of it, but it makes a hell of a lot more sense than saying twin flame and soulmate are the same thing, because they're not. Not in my experience, they're not. Oh, you're my soulmate, then what the fuck is this, right? Meanwhile, my mom, Hera, is a soulmate. My father, I never actually gave him a Greek god name. You see them all behind me there? My pantheon behind me. But that was definitely twin flame. Like, he wanted a heterosexual son. Sorry, Dad. You're going to have to learn how to heal that one on your own. We could never help each other heal. We could never give each other what the other one really wanted. And that's how it was meant to be, so I would learn how to be more authentic. Cool? Got it? One last thing. Please remember to breathe. That has been like, since I started the Samhain reads, which you might want to go watch your Samhain read, because that's for an entire season. But it's Samhain Mercury retrograde read. Because that's where they were like really, really clear. It's like, breathe. You're breathing in all of the chi and the prana and the divine love that you need in every inhale. Just be aware of it. As you do it, you'll feel it more eventually. And then you're exhaling everything that's ready to go, right? Anything that in that moment is ready to go gracefully on the breath. So, like, I notice that when I do it, I slow down. I mean, I don't care how long these readings are. These are not quickies. Some of them are going to be longer, and some of them are going to be shorter. That's just how the reads go. But I find that when I breathe, it's like the information comes through me. I mean, I'm going to hear it. I'm going to translate it from source, from my pantheons of angels, gods, goddesses, masters, and the higher souls of all involved anyway. But you see that? Like, my shoulders dropped. More relaxed. That's how you know you're in alignment. Your body feels relaxed. You feel relaxed, right? Chill. Cool, cool. Please pardon the cough. I am cleaning out a little bit of a respiratory infection, just a minor one. I was feeling amazing yesterday, and this morning it like made a little cameo. Cool, cool. All right, so I think that's it. If anything else pops up, they'll tell me. So take a deep breath. Call in your higher selves, you know, your higher powers, your pantheons. I don't care who it is. I can't see you doing it anyway. So, and we shall dive in. We're going to start with Caroline Mace archetype deck. One for the divine feminine, one for the divine masculine. Obviously, I don't know which one you are, but as we get into it, you'll probably have more of an intuitive sense. Like, don't let the mind ever determine archetypes. Go with what's called animation, where if it lights you up like ding, 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 then you have the archetype. And if it repulses you like, oh, it's so fucking disgusting, you have it, but you're terrified of the shadow side of it. You'll see. Cool, cool. It's all good. It's all good in the neighborhood. Won't you be mine? Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my tarot client? I don't know. Blessed be Mr. Rogers. Ascended Master Rogers. All right, let's get up into this gig. Breathe. Here we go. My collective pantheon of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. I love you all so much. Please, one card to represent the divine feminine in this Taurus collective. Sun, Moon, rising Venus sign in this soulmate relationship for November-ish 2019, please. One for the Divine Feminine here. One archetype card. What is the dominant soul power that they need to address in this soulmate relationship within themselves November-ish? Ooh, the Pioneer. Lovely, 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 lovely. Breaking new ground. We're going to start with the shadow attribute on the bottom and then the light attribute, or the lead, that in this soulmate relationship you're helping each other heal into the gold. Cool? Shadow attribute. Compulsive need to keep moving on. Now, I'm sorry, that does not sound like a Taurus to me, but that thing of, you know, but Taurians really only have two speeds, right? Stopped and charge, right? So, you know, I've had a bunch of them in my life. So that a compulsive need to keep moving on. So there's fear there, right? I heard a new acronym, FOMO, fear of missing out. Isn't that great? FOMO, no mo. No mo FOMO, homo. Fear of missing out. So that could be part of it. I just think that's hysterical. Oh, these millennials and their anagrams. I knew an anagram. She was a lovely lady. The light attribute. Passion for doing and creating what has never been done before. Pioneer. Different than an explorer. An explorer can explore terrain already explored. I can explore, I don't know, Thai cuisine in my kitchen, right? Doesn't mean I'm going to get it right. And I certainly didn't originate it, but to pioneer something, right? This is definitely about breaking ground that no one has broken before. So in this relationship, your pioneer archetype, if you are the Divine Feminine, is what's being alchemized in this soulmate relationship. Let's find out about the Divine Masculine. My collective pantheon of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved, please, one card for this Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in this soulmate relationship for November, I feel you, November-ish 2019. What's their dominant archetype in this soulmate relationship? Ooh, the engineer. A pioneer and an engineer? That sort of sounds alike. The engineer archetype in its shadow. Reliance on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequences, right? That's like, well, we can make a bomb that will kill everything except the kittens. It sounds like a planet I would want to reincarnate in, but, you know, I'd just be opening cans. But really, just not giving a shit, right? And mechanistic solutions, meaning that it doesn't have to be about fixing a carburetor. My definition of a carburetor has nothing to do with automobiles. Some of you know exactly what I mean. Oh, the 80s and the 90s. So reliance on, right? Reliance on something, a solution without regard, a lack of empathy there, right? Lack of empathy of how it's going to affect anyone else emotionally in particular. So moving that into, healing that into the light, the lead into gold, ability to give creative energy a practical expression. Talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. So if you get that engineering, it's almost like a strategist. Now, the strategist to me is another archetype. It's definitely more Athena than Demeter. Demeter is the goddess that sits in the throne of Taurus for me. But to practical solutions, right? Engineering strategies. So something definitely that a pioneer and an engineer could help each other out a lot. This already feels, regardless of the form, because when you do a reading, really, you're tapping into the vibrational, energetic soul content of what's going on. The form can be in a variety of different forms. So we're not even sure what that is just yet, but we are off to a very balanced, like I can feel the support. Oh, there, soulmates are supportive, symbiotic, right? Sympathetic. Feels really lovely. So what we're going to do now is using one of my favorite spreads. It's only a 5-card spread, the element spread, fire, earth, air, water, spirit. I actually learned it from a book and deck combo called the Elemental Tarot. It was great. God, I think I got that when I was still a teenager. Yeah, oh, I was reading that in Boston too. I'll never forget when the devil card kept coming up for all the cokeheads I was reading in the bars. The 80s were wild, and I'm so glad we didn't have cell phones with cameras. There's no fucking proof of any of it. I wouldn't touch cocaine now for all the money in the world. Never again. Yeah, at 51, that ain't cute. And, oh, please, I was in the clubs way underage. I was like 19 years old, reading cards, never... I was on every guest list. I had a lot of fun. And you know, the clubs in Boston shut down like 2 a.m. So it was all about get to the club in time to find out where the after party was. And I read, let's just say I read The Children of some famous people. I will not say who. At least not without getting paid to write a book for it. Yeah, metaphysical, spiritual witches tell all. That would be a hoot, huh? Anyway, sorry. Breathe. I am doing these readings on Wednesday, the 13th. Moon is in Gemini. I'm a tangent all over the fucking place, so that's why it's really important I breathe. So let's ask the goddesses here. My goddesses, please. Top 5 cards, elements spread. What does this divine feminine pioneer archetype? Fire, what does she want? Earth, what does she have to get her what she wants? The fuel that feeds the fire. Air, what does she think? Water, what does she feel? And spirit, overview, please. In this Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, soulmate relationship. I hear you. For November-ish 2019. Maiden. Mother. Crone. That one really wanted to be on top. So... let's do this. Now, I have learned since doing this spread to put the cards down and pull them one at a time. Otherwise, I go right back into shuffling. Here we go. So what does the Divine Feminine want here? What's her element of fire? She wants success. 6 of Pentacles. Now, I know 6 of Pentacles in other decks. Sort of along the same idea, right? The dude with the scales giving a lot to some or not enough to others. It's how getting that in balance. In this deck, it is about success. And if you look, it's sort of like a Special Olympics race. They're in wheelchairs. So I always feel that there's a certain thing here, like success under handicap, right? Like even though things are rough, even though things are tough, you're still moving forward. There is a momentum towards success. And remember, anybody who's in the race wins, right? You just have to be in the race. This isn't about competition, right? This is about a balance, about an equal give and take, about what you're putting out, receiving in equal return. And I can see where a pioneer would want that, right? To move forward, but maybe not feeling so supported, but in this soulmate relationship wants that, or at least wants the success of this soulmate relationship. Remember, this could be parent-child. This could be siblings. This could be friends, right? Best friends. So let's keep going. What is the element of earth here? If you like to think of a candle, right, the flame is fed by the wick. The wick and the wax is the element of earth. So what does this Divine Feminine have to help her get that success? And it's the Strength card, like straight up. We're not doing reversals for this. It's too much for my brain this week. So strength, courage. She has the courage, the emotional grace of fortitude. Now, the grace of fortitude, you can find that in my book, Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, but I learned it from Defy Gravity by Caroline Myss. Her work has influenced me probably more than any other female spiritual teacher. Matt Kahn, for the past year and a half, has just been, woo, clearing out my heart and my third eye. Well, his work, I'm doing that. I guess we're all doing that together, 5th dimensional unity healing. So even, just the feeling I get for this, that there is real courage, there is real passion. The Divine Feminine has this and was really wanting to full steam ahead here, has taken her base fears, any cowardice, and is really moving that forward into courage. You know, there's no surprise that Frank Baum, who wrote the Oz books, like Dorothy and all that the Cowardly Lion, there was something really archetypal that he was looking at there. I hear he was a Freemason or something like that. I don't know. So he did understand to an extent occult symbolism, I'm guessing. But there is something there about this Divine Feminine pioneer. She has the courage. And again, I'm saying she, just for Divine Feminine. Don't get hung up on the bodily gender there. But really has what it takes to do this. So that's really cool. What is she thinking about all of this? Ace of Flames, Ace of Wands, new inspiration. On the card it says creation, right? It's like moving ahead. I want this. I want thinking about it, thinking about this new venture, this new thing, this new exploration, not an explorer, but new thing to pioneer, to do what has never been before. So that's on her mind, and I can feel that. Very excited, but it hasn't manifested yet. Wants to manifest it moving forward. Has the courage, the emotional fortitude, the emotional strength to do it. Emotional fortitude. The grace of fortitude is the dominant grace of the heart chakra, right? It's loving what rises, right? But you do it behind the castle wall, right? You're going to be fortified in a castle. The Castle of the Soul. Read Entering the Castle by Carolyn Mace, based on the Interior Castle by St. Teresa of Avila. Fanning that flame, like fanning that flame inside of you. So that fortitude to keep it contained. Don't hand your bubble to bubble poppers. Boy, I had to learn that the hard way. Well, but do you think it'll make money? Well, do you think it's worth it? What if it's something you contracted to do in this life, right? In tandem or with the support of this soulmate, if you are the Divine Feminine. What are you feeling about this? How are you feeling, Divine Feminine? You are feeling Nine of Cups, wish fulfilled, Kuan Yin, content. This is lovely. Oh, it's lovely. Oh my. Oh my. This pioneer, it's just lovely, right? You're feeling the intuitive relaxation, like I said before. How do you know you're in alignment with your soul, with your spirit, with your higher self, with whatever you want to call it? You're relaxed, right? Not necessarily at peace in this case, definitely peace, but also remember, Kuan Yin is most known, like a goddess, for compassion, right? So, particularly with the Six of Pentacles, just with the image of a Special Olympics sort of race, that there is a lot of compassion in that card. So perhaps the equal give and take. But pioneers are looking to do something that's never been done before, but to really be compassionate with yourself about, is this just a compulsive need to move on, right? You're going to have to balance that out if you're the Divine Feminine. One more card. Spirit, the overview, not the outcome, the overview. To pull up to Spirit and see the other four elements from or through this lens. Ace of Cups, you got two aces. That's very pioneerish. Pioneering. Oh my god, you're so pioneering. Sounds like a pasta. Oh yeah, I'll have the the pioneering bolognese, please. Ace of Cups, happiness. Perhaps an offer of love. You know, I hear that all the time on YouTube. An offer of love. I'm like, okay, it's a seed. I get that. But it's something that offers the potential. A seed is a potential. Like where I live in the mountainous regions of Long Island. There are no mountains on Long Island. Just at near the highest point on Long Island in Suffolk County. I live in Holbrook. There are oak trees everywhere, right? So within every acorn, there's an oak tree. But will every acorn become an oak tree? Most of them become squirrel poo, right? So a potential for great, great, great happiness here, and just the idea is very happy making. So this feels, like I said, this feels very lovely, even from the laying down of the first two archetype cards. All right, so lovely for the Divine Feminine. Let's switch over. Pardon me. This is water. I promise this is not junk tarot. It's just pure filtered water. It's easier to put it through the pure filter and then, you know, bottle it. I have the picture. I don't want to attach anything to my sink. I don't. You don't care. Breathe. Yeah, the energy gets so high in these readings. It's so important that I slow down. Look, I am throat chakra defined. I can talk off one ear through the brain, out the other side. It's just how I'm wired in this life, right? Teacher, speaker, romantic as fuck when I'm in love too. Poetry flies out me. It's great. Usually. Let's have a look-see-dooksy here. We're going to ask the Mythic Tarot to be the voice of the gods, right? For the Divine Masculine. Breathe. Oh, feels so good. Right? See, when you breathe, it's like, oh, it's exactly what I needed. My gods, please. Top 5 cards, element spread for this pioneer archetype in this Taurus collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs in this soulmate relationship for November-ish 2019, please. Top 5 cards. What's going on for this engineer archetype, divine masculine? Son, father, sage. No. It's not going to matter anyway. We're only using top 5 cards. We'll see about that. I don't always do bottom of the deck. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Not really guided to. All right, so same thing. For this engineering archetype, divine masculine, what does he want? He wants the devil! He wants the devil. Now look, I could spend hours on that shit right there. But in this deck, it's Pan, right? The great god Pan, son of Hermes. Essentially, Hermes got it on with a goat. Not shocked. Geminis and Virgos ruled by Hermes, Mercury. Ilegwathoth, great spell, by the way. Tricky. But definitely that there's something here dealing with the shadow side, with the base motives, where they might be a bit more in their shadow, and that's what they need help with, right? That's what they need help healing. They need this soulmate relationship to help them heal that, because this divine feminine is just fucking glowing, right? If there is a spiritual path here with this pioneer thing, like very much, like even in the emotions, 9 of Cups, just really feeling it. Happiness. We've got like earth, a lot of water on this side. So here we're looking at a major arcana card. One major arcana card here, which he has, is the strength. So it feels like the divine feminine could help them, perhaps with this shadow phase that they're going through. There are attachments and addictions and things that ordinarily they might be able to walk away from, but hence the engineer trying to find a strategy, and they might need a pioneer who says, well, let's do it this way, and the engineer might say, that has never been done. I have a lot of friends in IT, right? That has never been done. Danger, danger, new idea coming in, right? I kid. But might be very, very helpful and supportive here. So we'll see what else comes up with that. Because honestly, if I tune into that for a collective of hundreds of thousands of people, there's just going to be too many things. Attachment, codependence, right? Addiction in any way, shape, or form. And perhaps emotions that are really stuck within the cell tissue and in the emotional baggage there that need to be released, right? Shadows like demons, it's just repressed fear, anger, you know, any of the uncomfortable emotions, stuff down, that eventually they accumulate this momentum that they possess us, right? You get possessed by the devil is being possessed by the shadow. Shadow possession ain't no fun, but emotional exorcism isn't necessarily a day at the beach either, although a day at the beach does help, trust me. It's what I do every day. As you love what rises, right? Giving voice to that wounded child inside of you, the innocence of your heart. It's just like, I fucking hate that. It's like, it's okay, sweetheart. And you will cry the tears with that child. You will feel the fears with that child. But it is what breaks those chains, right? That's transformation. That's embracing the shadow, right? Yeah, that's why I named my home Elysia after the Elysian Fields, essentially the spa center of the underworld. Let's keep going. What is the earth element here? What do they have? The wick that feeds the flame. The Fool, 2 major arcana cards. So what they have is the opportunity. They have the opportunity to start again. Maybe they came out of something where what they want is to resolve this, right? And they might be going reliance on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequences, perhaps even their own. Well, it's like, this is what we always do. This is what we always do. Now, I'm not busting on you if you're the divine masculine watching this, but there's something toxic, not good going on here, but you've got the Fool. Now, this is Dionysus. This is my dominant god. This is the god that my soul structure is based on, right? So it's the Fool, but it's the leap of faith. It's knowing you're divine. What the fuck is the point of all of these mediums and past life regression if we're still afraid of death? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not afraid of death. How it happens, though, I would like to be out of the body when it happens, if at all possible. You know, just take me out of the game without me being aware of it. I could close my eyes in this world, open my eyes. Oh, whoo, I had purple hair, right? I probably do have purple hair in the other worlds, right? Thank you, Overtone Purple for Brown. If anybody knows them, tell them to sponsor me, because I'm a hoot and I'm keeping my hair purple for the rest of my life. Even if there's just one strand left on my head in my 90s, it will be purple and long. Wow, just got American Horror Story flashback there. So the card of the Fool, that they can take the leap. They're willing to take the leap, or they are taking the leap to move forward here. But this soulmate relationship then feels like the Divine Feminine is there to help them heal, right? How to do this in a way that is Six of Pentacles, successful, moving forward with courage. She gets it. He will see. What is he thinking about all of this? Well, Page of Wands, not bad. Wanting to venture forward, right? Wanting to take the risk, hence the card of the Fool there. Inspired. Oh, and what's interesting is we've got the Ace of Flames, which is Wands here, and then the Divine Masculine mirrors that in the mind with the Page of Wands. So it's almost like an innocent beginning, not a lot of baggage, just like, let's do this. A message comes in. They're thinking about a message, perhaps a message from the Divine Feminine, something intellectual, perhaps a communication that came in that they're like, all right, let's fucking do this. Help me. Help me. If the engineer can ask for help, right? We all know the Divine Masculines, it's not their strong suit, asking for help. Yeah, do it with the ego alone. Do it without the divine. How's that working out for you? It doesn't work out for anybody. Don't take it personally. What is the Divine Masculine feeling here? Third major arcana card, Hangman. There we go. That speaks volumes, right? A sacrifice of a point of view, a sacrifice of perhaps always wanting to do this alone, by themselves, right? Not asking for help, but just like fucking hung upside down. Now, this is Prometheus, who stole fire from the gods. He was punished. Oh, gave it to man. He didn't just steal it for himself. It's not like he stole a lighter at a divine party. I believe anything with the letters BIC on it. Pen, lighter, fucking public domain. So many people have stolen my lighters. I try not to. Bic pens, though, seem to just be fucking relay race. Hung upside down on the rock. This vulture, I believe, came and pecked out his liver every day, and the next day it would grow back and come back, pick that shit out again. So a sacrifice, like he sacrificed essentially his life, Prometheus bound, to bring fire to man, so that man could what? Stay warm, grow. And Prometheus was a divine being. He wasn't a human, although we think of him as a hero. He was a divine being. He was I forget if he was a god or a demigod or what, off the top of my head. So emotionally feeling hung up here. Stagnant, but like Odin plucked out his eye and hung from the world tree Yggdrasil. Yeah, of course I know my Norse stuff. Got German blood in me. And soon I'll be dating a Swede. He's so Swede. Plucked out his eyes in order, one eye, right? Plucked out his eye, hung upside down in order to receive vision, right? So a change of perspective, a change of looking at things, but in the emotional field, this just is like waiting on the will of heaven. I have no fucking idea, so let me just chill. Oh, and where's the Divine Feminine in that? In a similar place, but with wish fulfillment, right? Feeling very, very fulfilled, very content, where the Hangman might be like, oh, fucking no. Oh, fucking no. But let's see what happens, right? Last card down with this spread, Spirit, the overview. Nine of Swords, overthinking, mechanistic thinking, repeated mental patterns. We used to be able to say the old tapes, but nobody uses tapes anymore. Do MP3s like loop? Yeah, okay, looped MP3. Same thoughts over and over and over and over and over again, because the old mechanistic systems that did not honor the emotion are not cutting it this time, and I can tell that because emotionally they're feeling a little hung out to dry. Now, if the Divine Masculine here can get, it's like, oh, I did this to myself, without beating yourself up. I mean, you're going to, but that thing, I was like, it's okay. Look, I had to do it. I had to see if it would work this way, and it just doesn't. This Divine Feminine be a huge source of inspiration for the Divine Masculine, right? So that Nine of Swords, right? It's just like being hounded by thoughts, sleepless nights, right? Which often give rise to some of the most amazing creativity. And the Engineer archetype is part of the creative family. By the way, as is the Pioneer. Oh, right. You're both in the creativity family of archetypes. I didn't even realize that. Alrighty, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get 2 of the Whispers of Love Oracle. I love this deck. I say that every time because I really, really do. One for the Divine Feminine, one for the Divine Masculine. Right? So let's do this. Breathe. The voices of the higher selves of all involved. The higher selves of all involved, please. A whisper of love for this pioneer archetype. In this Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign soulmate relationship for November-ish 2019. Please, one card in clarity, a whisper of love for the Divine Feminine. Spiritual connection. This relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. Right? Pre-incarnational contract, we know that as a soulmate, but you two have done this before, right? And the Divine Feminine, if she's not aware of that, she gonna be, right? Like I said, there's something very inspirational about here, but again, nothing essentially romantic sexual. If that's what you're looking for, try the other reads. But let's see. Whoops. No. No jumpers with these. I want to say it so that I know what comes out, what hits the table was done correctly, right? An engineered process. The higher selves of all involved, please. A whisper of love for this engineer archetype in this Taurus collective. Breathe. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in this soulmate relationship for November-ish 2019. Focus on love. Look for the good attributes in each and every person in your life. So there's something here about love. Now, again, does not necessarily say romantic love, not necessarily getting that. We still have one card left from the Journey of Love Oracle, which I adore. I'll be reading that from the book. We'll get there next, and then I'll do the review or the overview of all of this. Focusing on love, because what I notice... 3 major arcana cards for the Divine Masculine, an air card and a fire card, no cups. And what's the shadow attribute here? Reliance on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequences. So yeah, focus on love, particularly if you're feeling the Hanged Man. Make the sacrifice of your mental constructs, of your... Because the overview here, it's like looping thinking, right? It's like mechanistic thinking. You might have to let that go. I would recommend meditation. I would recommend some soul searching, honestly. And when better to soul search than when you're the Hanged Man, right? To focus on love. Look for the good attributes in each and every person in your life. Now, I'm getting to expand that a little bit. The 5th dimensional unity consciousness truth about planet Earth is that everything that's here, everything that comes into our awareness, what rises from the outside or rises from the inside, is here to help us. It's here to help us. That's unity consciousness. I don't know how this is helping me. I don't have to like it. I can think it just sucks ass, unless you're into that sort of thing. I'm not going there at the moment. But you can hold that, right? That's a new thought to bring in, right? It's like, well, so how is this helping me to love? How can I focus on love? How can I look at every person and situation in my life and focus on the good attributes, right? Like, we can usually do that in retrospect, right? We can look back and go, oh, that was just horrible. But my God, I stood up for myself. Like, I discovered my self-worth and my self-respect through that. Not saying that that's the case here, but dealing with the devil, it can be a thing of like, well, if I didn't go through that, if I didn't have that going on in my life, if I would have never really known what freedom is, and I never would have found the fortitude, the grace, and very, very thankful. Not focus on this Divine Feminine only as love, but see the positive attributes there. To focus on love, it's going to open up the heart. And you know, more and more people, I mean, they say there's a brain within the heart, right? I believe that to be true, because the holographic nature of this world, our bodies are a hologram of the entire universe. We are one awareness manifested, right? So we are the awareness of the one seeing through a unique set of eyes with a unique nervous system, but all of it is a hologram of the one, of the universe. So to open the heart, to bless the heart, to love the heart, to focus on love. Love is divine power. Anatomy of the Spirit, Caroline May's Heart Chakra chapter. Go read it, right? Love is divine power. It's moving the divine through you. And considering you got the only major arcana cards, 3 of them, the Devil, the Fool, and the Hanged Man. Interesting, all very masculine depictions here. Good idea. Just saying, good idea. To open the heart. But you need not become fluffy. I don't know any fluffy engineers. Granted, I know a lot of engineers of different kinds, but particularly in terms of a new strategy with that light attribute that you're shooting for in the alchemy here. Focus on love. Cool. Let's get a journey of love. And yes, I am going to read from the book. What did I do these for? I forget which readings. I think I did these for the Path of True Love. Oh yeah, the readings that I just completed. Oh right, before the full moon to new moon next reads. These are lovely. And just like with the archetype decks, I ask my collective pantheons. I'm doing the same with these. So we begin and end with the pantheons. Breathe. Oh, that's bliss. Oh, that's just bliss. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved, please, one Journey of Love Oracle card for this Taurus collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, soulmate relationship for November-ish 2019. Please, my collective pantheons. A journey of love. What's going on here on this soulmate journey of love? The bride offers herself. Now, the bride is more than the divine feminine, I have a feeling here. Probably more about the goddess, which is the collective divine feminine of all that is. It's a bit much. Really feeling this spiritual connection here. But the bride offers herself. So let me read that. Now, the book that comes with this is really good. Alana Fairchild, who I believe is the author, Rassouli, R-A-S-S-O-U-L-I, who is the artist, the visual artist, and Richard Cohen, C-O-H-N, if I've got that wrong, I'm sure someone will correct me eventually, who is the poet, all right? 43, which makes it 7. Transformation, yeah. Numerology was never my thing. If the gods had wanted us to do math, they wouldn't have inspired us to create calculators. And now they're you can get a watch with one. Oh, you kids and your technology. You engineers with your technology. Hold on. The bride offers herself. So this is in 3 parts. The first part is sort of, talking about the card itself. The second part is the oracle meaning, and the third is the poem. So it's like not even a full page. Breathe. The bride offers herself. There is a sacred offering taking place. An offering of the divine feminine. She is offering herself to the mystery unfolding. A pioneer. This may manifest in a physical way in that a woman of great feminine wisdom is offering herself to you in friendship, love, spiritual companionship, or service in some way. This is totally this reading. This may manifest in a spiritual gift from the Divine Mother in the form of a life circumstance or situation, whether it is immediately recognized as a gift or not. Meaning, when we're dealing with the Divine Feminine, it can something rising from the inside, a great pain, a great suffering that in its healing is the gift. Alchemy, from lead to gold. To accept this offering as a bridegroom accepting his bride with love, reverence, and respect. There is a grace of reverence. It's a root chakra grace. Anatomy of the Spirit, or Defy Gravity, or read my book, my ebook, Words of Grace. Respect and will bring good fortune. Good fortune. So definitely this is, of course, it's a soulmate read. But the Divine Feminine is really offering herself, and it feels like the goddess herself, the Divine Mother in particular, according to this card, is working through her to assist the Divine Masculine. There seems to be a lot of that going on lately. Being a predominant Divine Feminine myself, hence doing this work. Please pardon the cough. I apologize. This will be gone in a couple of days. Neti pot, neti pot. This oracle offers you a message. Accept what is being offered now, whether through challenge or an easing of the way forward. There is a gift of grace from the Divine Feminine reaching for you now. Allow her in and be blessed. This oracle also heralds a time of importance in relationship. You have been revealing yourself and not being afraid of who and what you are, sharing yourself in willingness to connect. Your vulnerability, Hanged Man, and beauty is acknowledged and will attract the response you need at the perfect time and in the perfect way. Every bride shall have her bridegroom. Now look, that is very symbolic. Maybe this then is about a potential marriage, possibly about something a bit more intimate, romantic, but that doesn't necessarily scream that. The idea of the divine bride and the divine bridegroom isn't new, and it's been used to represent the divine masculine and divine feminine within ourselves. And by the way, if you're single and you have no idea who the divine masculine or the divine feminine is, you might know which one you are. This can very much be about the relationship between your own divine masculine, divine feminine, your left and right brain. Let me read the poetry here. Breathe. How careful we must be close. How fragile we must feel. How sad not to be when someone is real. To say approach with caution when we already know that inside there's a likeness and experience goes. This pioneer is really ready to move forward to do this. Divine masculine kind of hanging out. Pioneer and the engineer makes a lot of sense. Let's look at this in review. We've got the divine feminine pioneer here wanting very much success with the Six of Pentacles. Has the courage, the strength card there to fuel her, move her forward. She has the guts and the glory within her to do this. Thinking about this as a brand new enterprise, a brand new creative opportunity to pioneer something that's never been done before, perhaps in her own life, or maybe in the world in general, but emotionally feeling very Nine of Cups, that this is her wish come true, this dream come true. This could be about a relationship between the two of them in some way, shape, or form. This is, after all, a soulmate relationship spread. But with the One of Cups, right, this is all about a new emotional beginning, a new emotional terrain. For the divine masculine, what he wants is to deal with the devil, to deal with his shadow, to deal with his dark side, to release attachments, to chains that bind. What he has is the Fool, is the willingness, the leap of faith to do that and jump off the cliff knowing that, he has support along the way. In the mind, however, there is this Page of Wands, like wanting to take an initial step. So it really does match that Fool card in the element of earth with that element of air, with the Page of Wands, right? To initiate, to move forward, but innocently and perhaps even gently. Although with the Ram in that card, that feels very Aries. It could be very initiatory, very passionate. And keep in mind, both the divine masculine and the divine feminine have those very, very strong initiatory, with the Ace of Flames and the Page of Wands, very similar in that way. The divine masculine, however, is going through a period perhaps of reversal, of seeing things differently, of hanging out, of chilling, perhaps feeling not strung out, but strung along, or hung up. That's probably the best thing, like a pause that just doesn't break emotionally, not necessarily feeling anything, but yet being pecked at by something perhaps that fear, that devil, a lot of the chains that bind us, I call them chains of smoke, right? Chain smoking, that you could move right through them, but they appear so real. Our fears appear so real. If we don't embrace them and love that child that believes them, then we can be kept in illusions for the rest of our lives, because fear is just the absence of light, just as illusion is the absence of truth. Crowned all of this with the Nine of Swords. A lot of overthinking going on here. Necessary, but is it for this divine masculine engineer or reliance on a mechanistic solution, or is it an ability to give creative energy a practical expression? So really the two of these together could really work together. The whisper of love for the divine feminine, spiritual connection. This relationship has a connection that goes beyond this lifetime. She's down with this. She's like, oh, I came in to do this, right? You ever have that feeling? It's like, I was born to do this. I was made for this time, for this situation. Part of a contract, what I came into. The divine masculine, really, you need to focus on love. Love of self. Love of self. Love of self. Love yourself. Just put your hand on your heart and just keep saying, I love you. You don't have to feel the love. You just need to mean it. Like, you can even say, I'm so sorry for all the crazy shit you've been through, right? Talk to yourself in second person. Talk to that emotional center, that child, innocent child within your heart, right? And then again, the overall here, this journey of love, the bride offers herself is just so powerful, that there is the divine feminine gift, whether working through the divine feminine, which I gotta say really, really feels that way, but the divine feminine is offering herself to help, to heal, to move this forward, and she's allowing the goddess, if you will, to work through her, that she's offered herself in some way to love, right? There's a lot of water in that card. There's a lot of good feeling going on in her spread. Overall, a very, very powerful situation. So, my Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, there you have it. This feels like a very symbiotic, very supportive relationship here. And it feels like the communication, if it's not happened yet, is coming very, very soon, but is going to be very passionate and very initiatory. So thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe. Please comment in the comment section below. Let me know what this is about for you, because this could play itself out so many ways. And you know, the thing about being a reader is that you sort of like see the outline, but you never get to see what happens. That's why a lot of my clients add me on Facebook, right? Because, you know, I'm $100 an hour to get a read, but I'm good, right? And I ask people to pay that so they don't keep coming back with the same thing over and over. They're like, oh, no, 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 no. I paid that much money. I am going to work this so that if I have to go back to Mal for a reading, Angelo, Lyons, professional witch, etc., that I've really put in my effort to heal and do what was indicated in the reading. You totally have free will. But I find that when I don't charge enough, people come back with the same thing over and over and over, so you value it, right? So if you do need a reading, please absolutely reach out. But the point I was making was you never see what happens. You never, like, you sort of like the blind prophet Tiresias. Look it up. I don't know why I gave him Mr. Puppet Hand, but there he is. Yeah, you never get to see. So please do comment in the box below. Reach out if you need help. And remember, 1,000+ subscribers once a month. Drunk Tarot. And I think the Taurians like that, don't you? Again, thank you so much for watching. May this Taurian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign soulmate relationship be blessed with all that it needs for November-ish 2019, that they grow, that they heal, that they support each other in a symbiotic, satisfying, soothing way for the well-being of all. And so it is. Thank you so much. But for now, hail, farewell, and blessed be.